let me welcome on board Foram M.Chheda, founder at ChartAnalytics, as well as Dipan Mehta, director at Elixir Equities. A very good afternoon to both of you, and thank you so much for your time. Firstly, Foram, the index that saw a decent rebound on the Friday session after scaring everybody on the expiry day, that's Thursday. But for the upcoming week, how are you placing yourself onto the benchmark indices for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty? The rebound is expected to continue going ahead as well.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. Well, to begin with, we just closed marginally up, that is above 19,600 level. It's basically a benchmark that we were eyeing at, as well as it's a psychological mark as well. So it's just closed there. So it's more like a very consolidated move. Lately, we have seen a lot of volatility overall in the index itself, that maybe in the first half, we may see a bit of a rebound, but in the second half, we see a bit of a sell-off or a profit booking coming in. So what I expect in the truncated week also, that is the next week, it's going to be more of a consolidated move, and at the same time, with very cautious approach, one should be maintaining very strict tight stop losses. As far as the levels are concerned, now the yesterday's low, that is closer to around 19,500, becomes a support on an intraday basis. However, from a weekly perspective, around 19,600 yet continues to remain a very important level on a closing basis. So on an intraday basis, we may see a lower level. However, it's very important for us to close above 19,600 to witness a bit of a bullish momentum or even a sideward range. So next week is going to be a really cautious approach. As far as Bank Nifty is concerned, again, a very same thing. It's actually underperformed compared to even Nifty. And we have seen technically it's breaching a 100-day moving average. So the support levels for Bank Nifty are placed at closer to 44,200. And on the higher side, it's closer to around 44,900. So it's in a 700-point range, very tight range. So not much, but the next week is just about to see a bit of a consolidation.
Thank you for that, Forum. Coming to you, Dipan, this is Lisa on the other side. Dipan, next week will be shut for China on the back of Golden Week, and it will open on 8th October. So we also saw Nifty Metal Index, it rebounded in today's session. So what are you seeing? What are the sectors that, will witness good moves on the back of this China Golden Week, and chemicals, metals? So what are your take in that?
I think in the short term, I expect the market to continue to move sideways, and I tend to agree that I think if critical levels and support levels are maintained, then gradually we have this sideways correction that will only, eventually lead to a breakout on the upside. That's what I hope. Specific sectors, I think nothing specific in mind, but I think banks should do pretty much well for the next 2-3 weeks or so, and we soon be entering into earnings season. And those are the key then news flow which you should watch out for, because when the company declares the earnings, that's when we have the maximum volatility, and a lot of trading also happens around those events. So I think we are in a bit of a quiet week from a news flow point of view, but we'll get pretty busy towards the end of next month.
Okay, Dipan, but also wanted your take that how are you seeing Indian markets plays, because your key takes on the IT sector specifically, because Accenture came out with its earning, not a great set this time around, though the good part is that there wasn't a significant fall on the Indian IT names on Friday. So do you believe that the investors' interest in the IT is expected to be there? Because we have seen a bit of a rebound in the index. So keeping the earnings season in view, do you believe that the IT will perform relatively better? As also, how do you see the US shutdown concerns? Because the debt ceilings, and earlier as well, we have seen a decision in the positive side being taken by the US government. So do you believe that once again on 30th September, there is going to be a positive news, and the kind of concerns and the fall that we have seen in the US market specifically, that will come to an halt?
Yeah, I'm not an expert on US market, so I cannot comment over there. But you are right. I think the way stock prices move in the US market does have a short-term impact on our market. There's no denying that. And coming to IT sector, yes, Accenture was slightly disappointing. But from our perspective, we are focused more on mid-cap IT. And I think those companies will continue to do very well going ahead as well, because they have developed such special skills and they have made a space and a niche for themselves. And so also while they will face macroeconomic challenges, I think they should be able to manage their growth rate far better than large cap IT. So within the IT space, our focus is on mid cap IT. So to that extent, we're not too much perturbed by what Accenture has reported.
All right. Thank you so much, Dipan, for that. But Forum, let me come to you and ask you about the auto counters, because coming week we're going to be reacting to all these auto names on the back of the September auto sales data, wherein we are expecting a good jump across the key categories from the likes of passenger vehicle sales expected to be steady, two-wheeler expected to show a decent rebound in the range of 7 to 9% uptick on a month-on-month basis, as well as commercial vehicles also expected to perform well, with Ashok Leyland expected to show a jump of 16%. So across the board, we are factoring in a good sales data as well as a positive commentary expected from the companies going ahead as well. So all these auto counters have done well for themselves. So any auto stock as well as any view on the index that you have at this point in time?
Well, to begin with, on the that is the CNX Auto Index itself, we've seen a very good rally overall. So the overall trend continues to remain bullish. Technically, it's been forming higher tops and higher bottom. Now, from the past, say, 2 months, that is in the month of in the past 2 months, that is in the month of July, as well as August, we've seen some momentum that continued. And in the last, say, in this month and currently what we are seeing, this end of this month, it's more of a quietish move. So it's indicating that, we may see a bit of a retracement coming down overall in the index. So currently the index is at 16,184. So it can come down closer to around 15,600 to around 15,700 and then see a bit of a rebound. Currently, there are no negative divergences on the index. So basically, the trend remains good. So the lower level should be considered for buying opportunities.
Well, thank you, Forum, for that. But with that, let's slip into a short break. We'll be back after the break. So stay tuned on the show.
Welcome back to Your Trades on ET now, and where we are discussing about the expectation from the Indian markets in the upcoming week. And let me go across to Forum then to understand her take on the banking space, because Forum, next week is the RBI MPC policy meet, wherein the expectation this time is that the RBI will keep the repo rate unchanged. But keeping that in view, what we are seeing is that all these PSU banking stocks have been on the roll, while no such push coming in from the large cap private names, especially from the likes of HDFC Bank. So what's your take on the banking space? Which part of the banking do you expect to perform better? Are you placing yourself on the private side or the PSU sides? And specifically, what's your take on HDFC Bank? When is that expected to perform in a good manner?
I am banking more on the PSU banks. They have been outperforming compared to the private sector banks, and they may continue to see some more momentum. Overall, we have seen a very good start since the beginning of this year. There has been excellent rally in the index by closer to around 20-odd%. And after that, also, we are seeing that it's just merely consolidating in the past few trading sessions. In fact, today it's seen a very good momentum again. In the PSU space, I would expect more of a continuation of an up move. Some of the stocks that look attractive are like PNB or even Bank of India, so these are some of the stocks that look good in the PSU space. Now, particularly in HDFC Bank, technically on the charts, we have what we can see, it's a major sell-off. But now in the past few trading sessions, that's 4 to 5 trading sessions, it's just trying to hold up to those 1500 levels. So as far as the 1500 levels are holding up, it's fine, but that does not mean it becomes a buy. I would expect the stock to close above the levels of closer to 1550 on a weekly closing basis, where we can expect more of a turnaround in the stock on a very short-term basis. But the trend yet continues to remain be under pressure. So I would expect that on a weekly basis, if one is looking at from a trading perspective, wait for around 1550 levels, then can look at going long on it. Otherwise, it's better right now to just stay away from it.
For that, but the star of Friday's session was the Nifty Pharma Index, which was around 3% up. So, how do you see the Nifty Pharma Index trending, and what are the picks from that index?
Well, in the Nifty Pharma space, again, today the index has really outperformed well, and the closing also has been excellent. So, if we look at it, today has been a weekly closing as well as a monthly closing. So, on a monthly closing basis, also, it's a very strong closing, which indicates that we can expect some further upside momentum from a longer term perspective. Now, when I break it down to a weekly chart also, it's a decent closing, but on a short-term basis, it may face a bit of a resistance. If I look at the Nifty Pharma Index itself, which is currently at 15,422, so it can move up higher to close around 15,700. The moment it takes off on a weekly closing basis, we may expect a continuation of an up move. But since it's consolidating, it gives us opportunities to get into some of the pharma names also. So I would look into more Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma is a stock which has trended up well today. It's already up by closer to around 2.3%. In fact, even in spite being up, it's a good buy at current levels also. So maybe if on Tuesday, if these levels continue to hold up, they turn out to be a good buy. And now, technically speaking, it's merely consolidating in a broad range. So lower levels are around 1120, and on the higher side, it's closer to around 1160. So it's giving an opportunity to buy. And once we see a move in the index, Sun Pharma is something which is very much in sync with the Nifty Pharma index. So we may see a very parallel movement on the upside. So one can look at buying at current levels, just maintain a stop loss below 1125 and look for a higher target of closer to 1200.
Okay, so Sun Pharma is coming as the top pick for Forum from the pharma space. But other than that, Forum, which will be your top recommendations for the upcoming week?
Well, the first recommendation is JK Paper. Paper industry had done well in the month of August, and after that, we have seen a bit of a consolidation this month. So overall, what it's saying, it's just an accumulation happening. Now, technically speaking, it did give a breakout from an inverted head and shoulder at around 385 levels. And it's come since then. Now it has been coiling, or I would say it's just consolidating the symmetrical triangle. Now, when the stock made a breakout, it's a good increase in volume. And after that, we see that accumulation is just happening gradually. So one can look at buying the stock at current levels and adding more at 397, that is the breakout level of the symmetrical triangle. Maintain a stop loss below the levels of 381 and can look for a higher target of closer to 420. And my next pick is on Astra Microwave Products. That stock has, in fact, now picking up some movement. In fact, last year, if we check in the last year of August, the stock was at around 374. And even till now, that is in the month, last month, that is till around 25th or the 31st of August, the stock was closer to around 380 levels. It gave a recent breakout this month, in the beginning of this month, and now it has been consolidating in a very narrow range. So it is giving an opportunity to enter into the stock. Now it has been in a clearly an uptrend, forming higher tops and higher bottoms, good increase in volume, and now since consolidating, we see a average volume increase. So one can look at buying at around 427 levels, maintain a stop loss below 414, and can look for a higher target of closer to 464.
Thank you, Forum, for that. But over to you, Dipan. On the MPC, RBI MPC meet next week, the rates are likely to remain unchanged. So how do you see Nifty, the bank Nifty trending, and especially on HDFC Bank, would you suggest our viewers to accumulate at this level or go for further correction?
So I think it's a very difficult question to answer because we were quite bullish on HDFC Bank even at slightly higher levels, but stock has been correcting. And there have been some negative surprises in terms of post-merger, what the figures are coming through. But I would say that I still keep my faith in HDFC Bank, and maybe you could see a turnaround after the quarterly results are announced. As far as interest rates are concerned, I think they'll be more or less in line with what they are just now. We expect no change at all. And that will be very well received by the banking stocks per se.
Okay, thank you so much for your take on the banking space, Deepam, and thank you so much, Forum, as well, for connecting with us with this. We'll let you go both on that. Thanks again for joining us. But